We're live. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year soon. I hope for everybody. I have Jensen with me. No preamble. We're just sitting up there saying hi to everybody. And Merry Christmas. And basically chatting about, at the moment, we're chatting about hippos in,
Oh, yes.
in South America. They are now.
Hippos are terrifying.
Yeah.
Just what I said. Okay?
Now, we as Westerners, okay, I want this understood. We as Westerners, when we started to do the explorations, actually first encountered hippos not so much in Africa, but we first encountered them in India
Oh,
because they call them
okay.
river horses. Welcome, James. So, river horses is and at the first thing when you say river horse, the first thing that comes to mind is ooh something I can ride in the river.
Good plan.
Yeah,
Not.
no.
By the way, Nomad, I just sent you an image of a hippo skull. If you want to have nightmares, take a look.
Yeah. No. I know. You know.
It's just awesome.
I don't know if the word
I'm s-
awesome is what people are thinking about there, Jensen. Maybe it's just
okay,
me, but I don't think they think when people say things. I don't think they think of the word awesome comes to mind.
dude. Okay. Apparently, um, South America is basically A1 territory for hippos because it's large, it's green, it's wet. So basically, all of the major tick boxes for hippos are yes. And it's absolutely full of food, quite simply.
Well,
All right.
South America has some heat to it, right? Which is why
Mhm.
they work really well there, right? I think hippos, if hippos
Mhm.
ever came to America, um, they probably could survive like in Florida.
Yes.
Um,
Oh, yes.
but I don't know if let's see. There we go. There's a hippo skull for everybody to look at. As
Mhm.
they pull it up. All right. Yeah, these things are terrifying. Number one, and that jaw of theirs can almost open 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Right? Those jaws can really spread wide. They're one of the few animal species that actually can drive themselves that way. Um, little fan service for you there, James. Um, which is kind of unusual to be honest. You don't see many
Yeah.
animals like that, right? Even cats can't open their maws that loud. I thought their
No.
teeth were flat. Apparently not.
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
their teeth are they got tusks that do two things. They got a tusks that go out and tusks that go like scissors to cut things in half. Better than Jello.
Yeah.
So yeah, hippos are in fact in Africa they are the animal that kills more humans than anything else. It's not the lions.
I have no problem with that.
It's not the it's not the rhinos. It's not it's not the snakes, or anything else. Can you imagine putting? I think hippos could probably live in Australia if they could get them in the rivers. That would be interesting.
That would be terrifying. But I've got a mental image for you, okay? You got all them little natives living down in the Amazon and whatnot. They've got their little dart guns and their tiny spears, and then 3.5 ton of high speed kebab is coming straight at them. I mean,
They're not in
they
the
would literally. What was that?
they're not in the Amazon basin, thankfully. Okay.
Yet. No. You forgot a word. Yet. But could you imagine the absolute terror one of these things would go. You'd literally think God has stepped down upon this plane and we are screwed. Okay, and don't forget, okay, hippos were also part of Egypt because Nile hippos were a thing.
I don't think it's James. They will dominate gators and crocs. All right.
Oh yeah, Stampy
It's
Stampy.
it's not even it's not better than even odds. It's way better than even odds. Because the
Yeah.
hippo skin, people don't like I said, but I was saying this to Jensen earlier. People don't realize this. The hippo's skin itself is it's very tough. Okay, it's not like
Mhm.
our skin. Okay,
Yeah.
um, and it's not like certain other creatures either. All right, for example, a bear has very loose skin on it,
Yes.
right? Lions and most cats have a very loose skin on them. Okay,
Yeah.
unlike human beings, hippos really don't have loose skin per se, but
Mhm.
it's tough. It's like elephant skin in a way, right?
Mhm.
Elephants. The thing about an elephant skin is it's thick. I mean,
Mhm.
I know I'm all wrinkles and scars. I look like a BF guy. That's not exactly what I mean, James.
Hey, you got to give him points for the honesty there.
Yeah, no, I resemble that remark. You know, I mean, can't say I'm a whole lot different, right? And
Hmm.
let's be honest. We're part of the sect that sits up there and goes, "Hold my beer." Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
now we were not we were James and I are not part of we're part of the sect that says, "Hold my beer, and we'll do something stupid." But we're also part of the sect that, well, first of all, we're surviving. We survived, so that tells you one
Yeah.
thing. And we're not part of the sect that goes, "Look, I got a shotgun. Hold my beer." Okay, there's lines. Okay, I just want it understood. All right, that there's lines to this. Right,
Yeah.
that can be drawn as to what we're looking at and things like this. So it's Christmas today, right? What have you noticed, just out of curiosity, Jensen? What have you noticed has changed from Christmas when you were younger, just your generic kind of view of Christmas when you're younger to Christmas to where you are now?
Okay. I will say this, but you might want to be careful what you say because YouTube get really pissy about this sort of thing. How bloody warm it is. Okay. It's Christmas. It's supposed to be winter. Honestly, it feels like an early to mid spring temperature. And actually, I agree with James. The shops or stores, they put it. Yeah. Actually, all right. As you've asked, I'm going to have to do this. All right.
Sure, 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 sure.
Okay. Now, it's Christmas Day, as we all know. Okay. You know, the time where you shouldn't really be hearing much out. Oh, crap. I'm going to guess that's probably. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Hey, Sixer.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas unto you. Right. What I was saying was you hear the number of Uber Eats and food delivery bikes out there all day. It's freaking Christmas. And I'm seriously, I've heard dozens of the little darlings today. Whatever happened to showing respect to Christmas? And just occurred to me how old I now sound.
Well, do you really need to ask that question? Because we all know the answer is.
Well, okay, I'll ask you the same question though, Sixer. What do you see as aside from the stores, which Stetson was talking about? What do you see as different from when you were growing up and you had that childlike wonder of Christmas, right? To what you see
Oh,
now.
what do I? Well, I don't want. Poof. Can't really tell as a child. I'm a child. It was more excitement on my end.
Well, that's okay.
Unable to sleep because of excitement.
You look forward to it.
I remember one Christmas when I was a kid. I couldn't sleep, so I just waited downstairs. I see all the presents on there. I didn't open them because I wanted to wait till Mum and Dad were awake. Finished. So I think I spent most of the night downstairs, sitting in front of this sofa full of presents. Not went to them until I just couldn't sleep, excited. I remember Mum coming down and says, "You've been waiting down here all this time." So yeah. Well, haven't you opened? Because I'm waiting for you to come down. Oh, bless you.
Well, that's always been a tradition here.
Yeah.
Is you wait for everyone to get together to actually open the Christmas presents. You don't just raid the tree.
Yep.
Well, the other thing that's changed is like what just said. There's no respect for Christmas whatsoever from pretty much everyone, whether they're English or not. No respect at all.
Well,
I think anyone's had the respect of their people. Some people, there's a good bunch of people on the right, the good Christians, and maybe a few lefties, but not many.
Yep. Now, Sixer, this is how it used to be with me. Now, you're Brit, so that's why I'm actually directing it towards you. I was allowed one present around sort of 10-ish on Christmas Day that I was allowed one.
And used to do that as well. Yeah.
Then the family would insist, and I mean this, that we watch the Queen's speech. And then I was allowed... Yeah, that's fair. Then I was allowed the rest of the presents. It was very much laid out when you could do stuff.
Yeah.
Not nowadays, though.
We used to have...
No. Nobody gives a shit.
We used to have a tradition similar to that, right? Because it's in the sense that they would allow us one package that they would give to us when we were kids. And it was going to be clothes that you were going to wear to church. Okay.
Yep.
So your first
Church?
Christmas present. So your first Christmas present was clothes that you were going to wear, your best, all right, to church, all right. Your family would parade you, and we'd all go to church as a family, all 6 of us, and so it was a lot of us that were all going at once, right?
Yep.
And then, of course, because it is somehow traditional, and that's one of the things that I still have a difficult time with my family dealing with this, because being in the military, okay, you want to be there more than just on time. If you're 5 minutes early, you're late, right?
Yep.
Families don't function that way. Okay. No. There's always somebody that's running and wants to be there right at the last minute, which always makes it fun for Christmas services, because during Christmas everybody's there.
Yep.
Yes. Cheers.
Hey, Yogi. Oh, nice beer.
My daughter got me a collection box. A box with a load of Starfleet Deltas over it. I thought you could just see it there. Got it on display.
Yeah.
And it's a big box full of these beers and this. She got me that for Christmas, and I'll keep in the cans because I'm not going to throw away these cans. These are great.
But let's be honest, mate. Wouldn't you absolutely pay through the nose to get Romulan ale?
Oh, I could do with some Romulan ale right now, but I got my beer instead.
You can tell a Trekkie. You just say Romulan ale, and they're there.
The problem with that is the problem with the Romulan ale. It's illegal.
It's only illegal if you get caught.
Exactly, this is true.
Yeah, it's one of those things that was illegal throughout the Federation, and every freaking captain had it.
Still is. It still is.
And again,
talking about illegal. No.
Exactly. I agree, Yorkie. Illegal only matters if they catch you.
Catch you, exactly.
Oh no, that's not what I'm gonna say. It's funny enough. Speaking of illegal, I got a little gift from the fond uncle.
Ah,
The what?
A bit of the devil's lettuce.
oh. Yes.
I missed that. What devils? What?
Devil's lettuce.
I'm almost afraid to ask why. I'm probably going to end up regretting this, but what?
Please tell me you know what the devil's lettuce is. Just say yes or no.
No, I don't.
Oh.
Fucking hell, you're old. It's just weed.
Oh, right. Ganji, Mary Jane.
Yeah, a bit of Mary.
Hot.
Ah,
The sticky icky. Yes, I know what you're talking about now.
It's interesting that the term Mary Jane is synonymous with marijuana when the whole thing, the whole reason it's called that has to do with the anti-marijuana movies in the 50s and 60s.
I did not know that.
Well, yeah,
That's cool.
because the girl that did it and then went nuts, her name was Mary Jane, and that's how they called it. Mary Jane.
I see. There we go.
Well, that's like naming a hunting rifle JFK.
Bet you didn't expect that on a Christmas stream, folks, did you?
Oh God! Oh boy! Okay, broke me. That one broke me.
I can honestly say you're right, Yorkie. Definitely not what I was expecting in that one.
Oh God!
I'm totally okay with that.
I do my best.
I'm not sure the term best is
absolutely
the word
glorious. Oh dear.
Well, let's put it simply, Yorkie. You have a good time with it, mate. I'm assuming you know what you're doing, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Every now and then, but usually just house parties.
Yeah.
God, I think it's been like a good a
Well,
year,
I've been
year
doing.
and a half.
Well, I've been doing a little bit of editing at the moment, working on my original story. At the moment, yeah, put some voices to it.
Good. Okay.
It's audible. So there's an audio one. So there's no visuals.
Yeah.
It's coming along nicely, actually.
Good.
Oh,
welcome, TC.
TC! Bloody hell, the rabbit squirrel is here. The crackhead squirrel.
First of all, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas indeed, mate. Long time no see.
Merry Christmas, everyone. How's
Long
it
time no
going?
see. What have you been doing? What have you been hiding? You've been avoiding me.
I know, right?
You say one thing and then I sat down here and there, but blimey, come on, mate. What mistake?
Oh, dear.
You know
That's
what
why I
you
would
did.
kick you off
Answer
you
for your
and piss me off.
Yes.
Come on,
Yeah,
it was,
Merry
funny.
Christmas,
It
everyone.
was
How's
funny.
it going?
Hey?
Merry Christmas, everyone. How's it
Oh,
going?
Merry Christmas, mate. Yeah.
I'm not dead, so that'll do.
Yay!
There's a time he wish he wasn't. He was.
And from James,
Oh.
and from James in the chat, we have.
Yeah.
You know why Jesus
Hey,
will
James.
be angry when he comes back? Because there's crosses everywhere.
He's not wrong. Okay. Look. Okay.
Nailed it.
I'm just gonna say it. Okay.
Oh, for
Funny.
fuck's sake,
Funny.
Thank
Really?
you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're gonna make me angry. You know, you can get me cross.
You wouldn't like it when you're angry. His dick will grow.
You really had to double tap, didn't you, Jensen?
Oh, of course I did.
So Jensen, does that mean you're going to get cross with me?
Oh, I'm most definitely.
Hey.
You know what? Personally, if you keep on with jokes like that, they're going to crucify you at any moment.
Hey. Well, you know,
Oh, don't threaten him with a good time.
let's hope these puns don't get too wooden.
Oh,
I'm doing everything.
Just gonna watch a bit of Splinters, mate.
you don't need Batman here when you got me and him. We can just sit there and do bad jokes until people throw up.
Indeed.
Well,
Indeed.
I think it's quite simple because you're both a bad joke anyway. But there you go.
This is fair, this is fair.
I have no idea what you mean there. No idea what you mean, Six.
Mhm.
As we all can hear, folks.
We're good zom-zoms, aren't we?
We're good zom-zoms.
Good zom-zoms.
So
Exactly,
since
you
we're
guys are joining.
still
Go on.
trying to keep this within a Christmas stream, which obviously it is
Yeah.
it's a Christmas
Well,
stream for us.
MC, do you realise you just been taken? Your channel's just been taken over by us British again, mate.
That's
Of
okay.
course.
That's okay.
You're screwed.
Indeed.
Well,
Yeah.
You're screwed, mate.
it makes it a nice commentary when most of the Americans avoid me. but
I can't imagine why.
what do you guys go through this? What each one of you basically has for supper or Christmas dinner, Christmas din.
No, it wasn't turkey. Let's put it that way.
Turkey, yeah. Turkey.
It wasn't. It wasn't turkey for me.
No.
Oh, we had nice, expensive steak,
Oh, nice.
medium
Yeah.
rare, potatoes, everything else, and lovely. And it was absolutely chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
That's it. It doesn't have to be turkey.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
No. It's
Turkey's just
what
too
you
dry
make
for me.
it.
Yeah, so,
Oh,
and I don't fancy eating it the next day. If you know what I mean.
yeah, and the next day and the day after. And the,
Oh, I
And the
love
day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that.
Yeah.
See, that's for us. That's Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is the big turkey.
Yeah.
All right, Christmas,
Mhm.
and then, I'm not saying that people don't eat turkey on Christmas either, but most of the time, what you'll see is people do Thanksgiving. They'll have turkey, but for
Mhm.
Christmas, we generally have something like ham.
Mhm.
Right,
Hmm,
it'll be
okay,
Christmas
okay.
ham
Yeah, what's the one with that?
with
Yeah.
all the different fixins and everything that go along with it, and so forth.
Naturally.
I do find that our two the two relished holidays in America the most, we don't eat beef, but that's probably because
Right.
beef is like, well, that's an everyday food for us. You know, I mean, hamburgers,
the reason
that kind of stuff.
Mm.
Go ahead.
Mhm.
the only reason we choose a steak is because it's an expensive steak. So once a year we get the good stuff.
Indeed. And James is asking, do Jews order Chinese takeout for Hanukkah?
Yeah. Of course they do. Again, how do you think
Long-
that
As long as it's not pork balls, and that'll be fine.
Ah. Yeah, let's just leave that there.
Well, it's just true. Am I lying? I'm not lying.
Mhm.
God, I work at Tesco's. I've seen the prices for turkey. I'm not touching that shit.
Right.
It's,
Okay,
some of the
that's
ones
a
we've
good
been
question here.
selling.
I am curious. What is the price of? Let's say if you're going to buy a turkey, how much would it cost?
Like a whole turkey that weighs like some like
Oh,
6
God.
or 7 kilos, or around
Hmm.
like 14, 15 pounds. It's something like fucking 50 or 60 quid.
Good grief.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Because
Our prime steaks didn't cost that much. Cost less than that.
yeah,
You
I'll
have to
take-
mortgage your house.
because in the
Oh,
United
actually, I'll tell you,
States,
you have to do this the easy way. What you do is you talk one of your neighbours into getting it, then you go and
Mhm.
shoot the neighbours and take the chicken. That way it's free and you get free food. with people.
On Minecraft. On Minecraft.
On Minecraft, yeah.
Well,
yeah,
turkeys-
sure.
turkey isn't native to your island, right? I believe turkey.
Funnily enough.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, it was you lot that brought it
Yeah,
over.
it's called Parliaments. Yeah.
Normally,
Yeah.
normally you guys
Good.
would have I assume the Christmas goose because that was what came from the Christmas Carol.
Yes.
Turkeys in America.
We're all a bunch of turkeys, and they need to have their heads chopped off on Minecraft.
It's just it is interesting that in the United States you had obviously you had the wild turkeys, but we immediately domesticated those things.
Yeah.
And of course, there's farms of turkeys, and turkeys are annoying. Okay, just to let you know, as a food source that you're raising, they're annoying. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, one of my friends went to visit his granddad once, and he had a lot of birds in his back garden, mainly pigeons, but he had a turkey that had roamed around the back garden, and I swear it was like the size of a fucking Rottweiler.
Oh yeah, they can get big. People don't realize that they can
Yeah.
get big. They're not
Yeah.
they're not a small. Even the wild turkeys are much larger. That can get much larger than people realize. All right. And there is a season in the areas where those things roam, which is basically on the East Coast, like in the Virginia area.
You sure didn't mistake it for an ostrich or something? Yeah.
No, they're not an ostrich.
No, I said, you sure you didn't mistake it for an ostrich? In the size of a Rottweiler.
You laugh, but there's an ostrich ranch just about 30 miles from here, up the road.
Oh, I don't doubt it, mate. I don't doubt it.
Have you tried ostrich meat before? It's actually really good.
When I was in Egypt on my dive trip, I had a camel steak.
Oh, cool.
And a bison. Well, they had bisons as well, so they had bison. And a bison steak as well, so lovely.
Yeah,
no offense, but let's be honest, a bison's an overexcited cow.
No, it's not.
No.
Okay.
All right, it's a gamey cow.
First of all, the thing about a bison that most people don't realize is, everyone talks about it because they look how big the thing is, and they think that this thing is full of meat. They are not as full of meat as you think they are, because a lot of that goes to that damn head. Right, that big massive skull that they have. Okay, now the front shoulders and everything, they've got to hold up that head, so there is meat there. Don't get me wrong, but if you have an animal between that's going to weigh a certain amount, if you have the same weight of cow versus a buffalo or bison, you're going to get far more meat out of the cow than you will out of the bison.
James, about bison is lean, I think. Not particularly, no. I mean, but the steak I had was absolutely gorgeous. You swear you might as well be eating a normal steak. It's that good, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But then it depends how you cook it. It's one of those things, in it, really.
I think it
was cooked well.
Yeah, let me respond to James here real quick. I think the reason a bison is leaner is simply because they're completely grass fed. They're not.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not. They're not a they're not a feeder animal. Let's put it that way.
They're not like the cows we have here, you know.
Well, no.
How it's, you know.
Bison people do stupid things with bison too, because there's a herd of bison that roams around in the Yellowstone National Park. And people go out there and they'll see the bison and they'll start taking pictures, and then somebody goes, "Hold my beer so I can go out there and touch one."
Oh no!
And then they get run over.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
And then they get punted like a football.
You know,
Toro.
You know, and the ones that survive, the ones that go out there, got this picture and got to get away and nothing happened to me. You'll read about them next year when they get mauled by the bear. But all right, because that's what happens.
Not wrong.
With these things. There are quote unquote areas that supposedly they attempted to domesticate bison, and it didn't work. Okay, they're not domesticated animals, and they'll never be. They're another one of those creatures that just will not accept domestication the way like cattle did.
Oh, sure.
No, a wild storm can never be tamed.
Well, I mean, all animals have I mean, as you guys know, I mean, each animal has its own personality. Right? Most people don't. I know people don't realize this, but if you take a look at the animal world, it's pretty obvious that some animals are friendlier than other animals. All right, and it can be the same species, right? And so that's where I go back when people go, "Oh, your personalities are made by the environment." No, you're born with personalities. Even the animals are. There are animals that are
Oh,
just
yeah.
that are just born to be happy-go-lucky things that for some reason survive because I don't know, maybe the cute factor causes the other animals to go, huh? Which I think is a defense mechanism for smaller animals, all right, especially
Yeah.
especially when they're born. All newborns, for all intents and purposes, are left alone by other animals, all right, unless there's a reason to actually eat them, right?
Yes.
But
Except in Australia, where everything wants to kill you.
But that's not fair.
Yeah.
Australia does not come into this equation. They are the
Ah,
only
right.
free
And that's
world.
and that's before we even talk about the wildlife. Yeah.
have you noticed?
Wow.
Have you noticed that in Australia the young actually live inside of the mother's pouch forever? It's not
Yes.
You know
gonna-
why? But actually, hold it. If
Sounds
we
like
can
a
talk
simp.
about- well, hold up, one sec. If we can talk about Australians, I do have one question. Okay, now you've all heard of the sexual transmitted disease known as chlamydia. Yeah,
Yes.
chlamydia comes from koalas. Now I've got to ask you a question,
Ah, yeah.
and I don't think I need to say it
Yeah.
out loud. Do you?
No.
Just
How did it make the transition to humans? Yeah.
yeah.
Well, what you mean by the same way how
Yeah.
AIDS came from monkeys at the time, didn't it?
Don't say it. Yorkie, don't. I'm just saying, don't.
Bow chicka wow wow. Wow chicka wow wow.
Is it worth MC getting a strike for my comments?
Does MC care? Is
No.
it really the next question?
And if it did care, it won't really matter because he's outnumbered. The British are here with vengeance.
And New Hampshire has decided to re-release wild turkeys. Now, of course, they're everywhere in Boston.
Hold
The
it.
natural home of turkeys is Boston, Massachusetts. What a surprise!
If
You
we
did
want
with
to
the
talk about-
squirrels, though. You got your own back.
if you want to talk about turkeys, I've got a memory for you. Going back for
Okay.
years with when Dodge was around, okay? Me and him were
Mhm.
chatting on Discord, and he turned around and said, "Hold it, there's like a whole bunch of turkeys in my garden." And so, of course, my first words are, "Have you got a gun?" His next words were, "No, but I've got a compound bow." So I'm going, "Okay, grab your arrows, and you got free lunch." I'm not allowed to shoot wild turkeys. I'm sorry, Nomad. Seriously, what the fuck? You're not allowed to shoot wild turkeys? Is there something you want to tell me?
You
here?
gotta. Where did he live? Oregon.
Okay,
That's the
yeah,
answer.
no,
That's the answer. Okay.
Something you said earlier about animals and how cute they are and whatnot. I just would like it noted. Democrats, if they actually go out and cuddle lions in Africa, nothing bad happens. I really strongly advise all Democrats go over to Africa
And
cuddle-
Labour Party supporters and various other retards. I mean, yeah.
Nothing bad will happen. It'll be great. They'll become
That'd be
real,
fantastic.
real
It'll
close
probably show you his tonsils, so that's about it, you know.
Exactly. Nothing
get-
wrong with that.
I get the feeling this is going to somehow backfire and it's going to end up with the Labour Party just importing lions and releasing them into the streets. I feel like the Labour Party will
Well, they've got brought in other wildlife, might as well.
Okay, no. This one's for the Brits, okay?
Mhm.
Mental image for all of you. David Lammy and a lion.
Oh,
You're
absolutely.
all
Oh,
welcome.
Jensen, all of a sudden I got a nice hard on.
I do have.
Okay.
Since you guys are mentioning,
Didn't Keir Starmer, Rachel Phoebes.
No, we are not allowed to allow the lions to eat Angela Rayner.
okay,
We are not poisoning the lions. I don't
okay.
care.
So this leads me to another question now, since you mentioned lions, because that is
God.
the image of the crown, right?
Yes.
Why? And how old is that?
Really?
Because you did not have lions roaming the Great Plains.
We
of
also have
London.
bloody unicorns on our shield as well, mate. So there you go.
Well, that's specifically Scottish because the Scottish are just spiteful bastards. They literally just picked the unicorn because it's supposed to be.
And we
better than the lion.
got the Welsh dragon, don't forget as well. Come on.
Well, see, but I can believe the dragons were killed by human beings. I can believe because I'm not saying the dragons like the fire breathing things with the wings or anything
I mean-
like that. But big. I think that human beings were alive when there were some really large reptilian creatures that could be called
I think
dragons.
more of the
Yeah.
everything the Richard the Lionheart, maybe that's probably what I'm saying.
Well, okay, Richard the Lionheart was named. Why did he get the name Richard the Lionheart from? It's because he had the heart of a lion. But my
Brave
question
lion.
is that has been around for the British Crown for so long. Do you think that the only reason that you guys are so aware of lions and their actions is because of the Romans, because of the gladiatorial games?
Possibly.
Yeah.
From what I've just tried googling, it said the earliest evidence of lions being on English coats of arms is from around the 12th century.
Hmm.
I mean, so if I was just going to make a complete stab in the dark, it could be.
But you didn't
I
have
mean, it could
the
easily be an import.
well, yeah, but you didn't have the Great British fleets in the 12th century. Let's be
This is
honest,
true.
right? Your fleets were just slowly coming into being because you had finally beaten the Norsemen back to the point where you could actually sail the seas every now and then, right? Without being
Yeah.
raided by those bastards.
Yeah.
I just find it quite interesting that the British, had that as one of their great symbols when it's not, even close to being native to your area, right?
I'm going to assume it is based on from the Romans, to be completely honest, mate. Think about it, okay? When the Roman legionaries, specifically like centurions and whatnot, will come over, a lot of them, especially from like was it Scipio Africanus, I think was the right name. He would actually have the pelt of a lion on his banner.
Yes.
Am I correct with that one?
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
thought so. Memories ticking in there. So I think that's probably where we got the idea. Because let's be honest, apart from when the Romans came over to Ireland, wet themselves and ran away, and yes, I don't care what you say, the entire Roman legion went over to Ireland, pooped themselves at all them blue loonies, and went back to England. And now we're done. Okay.
I think it was more along the lines of, why am I going to sail around this when I got enough of these blue loonies coming down from the north anyway? But no,
yeah, that's the other thing. Squashed them, sort of, Anyway,
which
but that's
leads-
actually what I
guys-
think happened with the Lions.
Well,
mate,
guys,
is-
I'm gonna have to drop out, guys, because I've got some other things that need to be sorted out. Thanks for
No worries,
coming on, and I'll talk to you again, and wish you happy Merry and a happy New Year, and I hope you catch you all again. Take
Later,
care,
brother.
guys.
Have
Bye.
a good one, mate.
Bye.
Merry Christmas. I think I got it.
Right.
So
Yeah. Go on. Anyway, we like I was saying, I think that's probably where the lion thing came from. Was the Romans, and we just literally we do what England always does, which is steal it.
Yeah.
I don't mind admitting that England are a thieving bunch of bastards. We see an idea, we like it, we nick it, we claim it's ours.
do you really look at it like that? I mean, I don't think you've ever
Yes.
claimed anything like that. I mean, you claimed the territory, but I don't think you ever claimed that you owned it. I mean, well, owned the idea. I should say.
Well,
I don't know. I don't quite class it as stealing when we've conquered the place. It's kind of like the spoils of war. Like, if you didn't want us to take it, you should have fought better.
I agree with that statement. It's like recently, as we're doing just random nattering here, the whole thing with the marbles, the Parthenon marbles. Okay, the Greeks reckon that we should be giving that back. I want to put it bluntly. One, If we left it there and hadn't taken it, the Ottomans were going to turn it into basically powder. 2, we paid for the bloody thing. Cash up, bitches. If you want it back, pay for it. Okay. But no, we apparently have to give it back to them. I'm going to put it bluntly. Come get it.
I think you brought up a real good point there, Jensen, about the whole, it would be destroyed otherwise. 'Cause the vast majority of the shit in the British Museum, either the locals didn't want it, or it was going to get destroyed by either other invaders or some other group. Like, I remember a couple of years back, there was some like old pagan statues somewhere in the Middle East, and some ISIS groups just started smashing them up. Even these statues that are like several thousand, predate Islam by several thousand years.
Yeah. I was not happy with that.
Half of them are probably from like half of them are probably like Bronze Age era.
Yeah.
See, Americans don't think the same way you guys do. I'll be perfectly
Obviously.
frank. Because we wouldn't grab things to put in museums. Okay? Now, if we had, let's say that we had Americans had discovered the Tutankhamun's treasure vault. Okay, if it had just been Americans, the first thing Americans would have done is said, "Gold, let's sit up there and melt it down." Okay.
Yeah. No, that's. I do want to make one argument there, Nomad. Smithsonian.
Okay, I'm just pointing it out there. Well, the Smithsonian came later. Okay.
I know, but I'm
Much
just pointing
later
out.
in
If
our
you want to
history.
say, dude, you do not get to say much later in your history when your history is literally younger than some of our chairs. So, yeah, no, sorry, mate, you don't get that line.
Oh yeah, I do. Oh yes, I do. You just don't know.
Otherwise, I should point out that I live within like a minute's walk of three different pubs, and they were all founded in like the early 1820s.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing that you guys don't seem to not understand about Americans is everyone talks about the Smithsonian, right? You guys talk about the Smithsonian and you talk about, oh wow, look what the Smithsonian has. Do you realize that to most Americans the Smithsonian is only one thing, and that is the technology center where we have rockets in flight.
Yes.
Most
I agree,
Americans,
even though I know it's more.
Oh, it's the Smithsonian is absolutely just huge and encompasses multiple buildings in a complex, right?
Yeah.
But the one thing that Americans always, when they think of the Smithsonian, the first thing they go back to is seeing the Saturn V engines, to see the Apollo capsules that are there, to see the Wright brothers flyers and the Spirit of St. Louis, right? That's what Americans go to see. It's all the technological stuff. That's the first thing on their minds. It's not to go, oh look, natural history. Yeah, good. Oh look,
you have
a painting.
no natural bloody history.
Although it's something I've wanted to talk to somebody about. So I found out fairly recently, because the British used to own 25% of the world thing. That's just the most we held at one point. If you see every place we've colonized or occupied at one point or another, it's actually about 90% of the world.
Yorkie, England there are only 22 countries on this planet that England hasn't invaded, and most of them didn't exist when we had an empire. Just want that clear. So yeah, we're like the STD of the world. We've been everywhere. Okay.
Speaking from experience there, Jensen.
Can't say anything there, mate.
As he shakes the sand out of his boots.
Precise. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to bug. You guys look after yourselves. Thank you for having me on.
Later.
And it was nice to speak to the pair of you.
Thanks, Jensen.
Merry Christmas to everyone,
Merry Christmas.
and have fun. And by the way, watch out for ghosts. See you later, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Jensen.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And now it's just the three of us.
And then there were
Um,
flu.
and so now there's only two British to sit up there and be able to gang up on me now.
I can hear myself think now.
yeah,
Watch any second now. Batman's gonna fucking join.
yeah.
Well, actually, I'm kind of surprised that he didn't join already, but it is what it is.
Indeed.
Right.
Yeah,
I've seen him for a
yeah,
while actually.
yeah.
I haven't talked to him for close to a month now. I mean, I chat with him a little bit in Discord as far as typing back and forth, but actual chat. I've actually chatted more with TC than I have at Batman. The last
Right?
few weeks.
Wow. Wow, that's saying something.
So, which leads me to another question, TC, because I
Okay.
see you on the stream every now and then with P Dog Knight.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
How did you discover his stream? I'm just curious.
Good grief, that's a long time ago. I think it must have come up in my feed or something. In my,
Oh, really?
suggested feed or something. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
Mm.
But see,
Yeah.
I never really look at my feed all that much, to be honest.
Right.
That's probably because I have certain things that I follow, and I don't think about exploring from a commentary perspective. I don't think about exploring YouTube all that often. Maybe I should be doing that. Right?
Yeah.
Of course, then I'll be like kicked off of other platforms, but
right.
with some of the commentary.
There's some interesting stuff out there if you look. Yeah.
Well, I used to, for the longest time, the only thing I went to YouTube for was to get an idea to fix something within some kind of technology somewhere, right? We're working with computer system, and therefore something happened. So I'd sit up there and go on YouTube to say, okay, what's going on with this? And so you would see fixes and things like that. And that's what I was using YouTube completely for.
Right.
And that changed. Now I'll admit this was from a feed perspective. That changed. This is before I even created a channel. When I discovered a guy who was doing he was melting bronze and creating a Bronze Age sword.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And that person, believe it or not, all right, although his channel wasn't there, was Sargon of Akkad.
Oh right, yeah.
But he wasn't doing it as a Sargon stream. It was part of a different, overall kind of like documentary of this person going through all this stuff. And I know it's Sargon of Akkad because the voice is the same, right? And then later on, you find the names. When you find people's names, you realize who they all are, right? But that's really how I got into that. All right, it's like, there's something else here. So I started looking up blacksmithing type of videos, right, where people are doing blacksmithing and that kind of stuff, which is really, it's intriguing to me. It's something I wish I had discovered when I was very young, right? Because I could see me doing that kind of stuff. I could see me, doing that kind of forging and metal bending. If it was earlier on, there's no way I could do it now.
right.
I think something you might find amusing, MC. Because I really enjoy. I really like metallurgy, and I came across a video a while back, sort of someone trying to forge tungsten, and it's the only time I've ever seen a hydraulic press cry.
Yeah, there's certain metals that you're not going to forge very easily. Tungsten is a very tough metal, and extraordinarily dense as well. Right? Its properties when it comes to heat. It's for a metal. It's very heat resistant. Right? Yeah. This is one of the reasons why they were putting in, light bulbs back in the day. Right?
Sure.
Was because it was one of the few metals that was actually heat resistant and survive survive that kind of stuff.
Mm.
When with my work, one of the things that we work with was something called brachytherapy unit, which uses a radioactive source, all right, that it uses for treatment, and the radioactive source is about the size of a fingernail clipping,
Right.
right,
Mhm.
and it's welded to a steel wire. Well, I shouldn't say wire; it's steel cable, actually, small steel cable. All right,
Mhm.
and what you have is different types of catheters, all right, to that'll go out and stop for various points of times. But when it retracts into its safe area, into the safe home, it goes back into a
Mm.
tungsten alloy safe, right? And that
Right.
thing,
Oh.
it's about the size of it's about the size of a like a child's soccer ball.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, so it doesn't look that big, but it weighed 80 pounds.
I can imagine. Yeah. Right.
Right, because it's
An
solid.
alloy safe, not a lead safe.
No,
Okay.
no, no, no. You don't use. Okay.
Ah, interesting.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know about these things. Okay.
So why don't we use lead? I can hear you now going lead.
Mhm.
Why don't we use lead?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
because although what you see for most things, people think that lead would be a good material, and it
Mhm.
is to a point. The problem with lead is it can become radioactive at,
Ah.
with lower photon energies, right?
Right.
Which is why
Okay.
you don't see lead being used as that type of shielding all that often, right? In comparison,
Right.
all right. But that's the main reason is lead will
Okay.
phosphoresce. That's why
Right.
you see them you see all the shows that they when they're doing like dental X-rays and things, people put the lead apron on and stuff.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
reason for
Mhm.
that is that the energy that's being used by those X-rays is much. I'm talking about the photon energy. The photon energy being used by X-rays and those kind of things is low enough that it won't cause problems.
Right. Okay.
But if you get high enough, what'll happen is it'll actually become radioactive, and basically you're going to have a radioactive lead apron on while
You
if
sure?
you're
Yeah.
when you're dealing with this, if you're dealing with the higher photon energies. But that's the reason why.
Right.
Okay.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Well, learn something today.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
It's there's it, how do I put this? Even with tungsten and stuff, right? If you
Mhm.
use enough energy, enough higher energy photons,
Mhm.
it will develop a radioactive glow. Right. For
Okay.
example, the
Right.
linear accelerators that they use in cancer treatment. All right.
Mhm.
Normally, the normal treatment energy most people use is around what they call 6 MV. Okay.
Right.
Uh, but for if you're trying to go deeper into the body, and you're a large person, aka fat like I am, okay,
Hmm.
then they got to shoot that beam through a lot of tissue, right? They need a
Yeah.
higher energy when it comes to dose deposition, right? And those higher energies can actually cause a temporary glow in the tungsten target that they use.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because in order to
Okay.
generate those X-rays, what they do is they take an electron stream, right,
Mhm.
and they throw it through uh, a waveguide, a microwave waveguide that'll take those
Mhm. Mhm.
electrons and boost them up to about 0.6 C, all right, or zero point 0.6 times the speed of light.
Right.
And then they
Mhm.
slam that into a tungsten target,
Right. Right.
right,
Yeah.
to produce
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
actual photon energy that you're going to use. Because you don't
Sure.
want to try and hit
Mhm.
people with an electron stream that way, right?
No.
And
No. No. That's why you're gonna kill them. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, and the reason for they do use electron streams for surface treatments,
Okay.
right? But
Mhm.
the amount of depth, what they call dose deposition, is
Mhm.
is really only maybe a centimeter into the body, right?
Right.
Most of the
Right.
energy is going to
Mhm.
be absorbed in the body within that first centimeter, for electrons, and that's just the
Right.
characteristic of electrons.
Okay.
Neutrons are a little different, but basically they're a particle, and all particle energies basically have what's known as what they call a Bragg peak, where
Okay.
as
What's
it
that?
starts to interact with the surface of the material or the target that you're trying to treat with, all right, the dose
Mm-hmm.
starts to go up, and then it goes way up, right, to 100%,
Mm-hmm.
and then drops way back down. So right at that
Right.
Bragg peak, you get the most deposition at the treatment, but it doesn't go completely through the body. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah, he does.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Mm-hmm.
it. I mean, I could show you the things and everything, or you can look up Bragg peak if you want to see what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
explains what they're trying to do with it. All right. But that's just a different type of treatment for for like skin cancer. Well, works pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
For prostate
Nice.
cancer, where you're trying to shoot it through the entire body, you're going to have a problem.
Right. Yes.
You're going to want to try and treat that
Yeah.
with an electromagnetic wave of some sort, and
Yeah.
that's where you
Yeah.
come back with some of this other stuff that we utilize what they call it is a miniature linear accelerator. It's not like the accelerators that you see at CERN in that it's not that large and you're not getting close to the speed of light, but you are getting to a fraction of the speed of light just to generate the amount of photon energy. And
Right.
what most people don't know is in order to treat you with that radiation, okay, the 98% of the energy that you put into that system to create the treatment photons
Mm-hmm.
is lost in heat.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So
Mm-hmm.
these things are all of them are liquid cooled. All right. Parts of the
Right.
waveguide are vacuumed. All right,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
below, but below what you've seen in your little science experiments at school. Okay,
Sure.
it's
Sure.
down.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sure. Yeah.
you're talking very few particles. All
Mm.
right. In fact, what
Right.
they use two different types of vacuums when they first create the vacuum. One type of vacuum gets most of the stuff out, and then they use an ionizing vacuum that gets rid of the rest of the molecules. All right.
Right.
And the reason for that
And when you
is because when you're sending the electron stream, you don't want the electrons hitting something else. It'll interfere.
sure.
Right. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, the whole thing. And
When
then,
you say
Mhm.
liquid cold, I mean we're talking water, or we're talking like
water,
liquid
wa-
nitrogen, or
no. You're talking water generally.
oh,
Water
oh okay, right.
but you have a chiller on it. Okay. The water is being,
Yeah,
it's going through and then it's coming back, and
refrigerated.
then it's got a refrigerator that
Mhm.
refrigerated water back to regular temperatures.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. Sure, gotcha.
Now
Okay.
that's okay. That's for what you talk about with when you're talking about the linear accelerators that you see in for the cancer treatment. Now some of the imaging stuff
Mm-hmm.
is a little different. For example,
Yep. Right.
some of the new MR stuff, the
Mm-hmm.
those magnets are 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 being treated with liquid helium.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, because they got to get those things
Okay.
way down, right, for the effectiveness for what you're looking
Yeah.
for. These things,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And of course, liquid helium is quite cold. Right?
Indeed. Indeed. Yeah. Yeah.
And whenever you're dealing with something that's that cold, right? Uh,
Yeah.
it's you have to have emergency procedures for these things. And one of the emergency procedures
Right.
that are out there is they have an emergency dumping procedure where they can dump the 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 helium out, all right, in order to save
Mm-hmm.
things. All right. But
Right.
you don't want to be
Mm.
anywhere near where that release
Oh,
is.
sure. Sure.
And so
Yeah. Oh
generally,
no.
what they'll
Yeah.
do is they'll have a section in a hospital somewhere where they have normally it's on a ceiling where they don't expect anybody to be.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That will be the output when they dump that because they have to do an emergency
The
dump of
helium.
the helium. Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's quite an elaborate type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That you have to go through and stuff. So, and what you're looking at there, to be honest, when you deal with MRIs are really good for identifying tissue type, I guess is the best way to say it.
Okay. Right. Mm-hmm.
But it's not good for density. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And the MR also shows up better for like blood. Where's your blood flow going?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So let's
Mhm.
say that
Yep.
when you're dealing with cancer, for example,
Mm.
tumors are unregulated growth. Unregulated growth takes a lot of blood, right?
Sure.
In
Mhm.
comparison
Yeah.
to the rest of the body, right? So it shows up really well in an MR. Okay. The problem with that, of course, is when you talk about treatment, is the, the photon energies or the energies that you're going to use to treat it. They don't care that there was blood there or not. They want to know how dense the material is so that you know how much dose deposition you're going to get as the photon travels through
Yeah.
the body.
Yeah.
Or the
Mhm.
photons, I should
Understood.
say.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
But speaking of tumours, one of my friends and co-workers, uh, he has cancer, but um, he got diagnosed with it a few months back. But I spoke to him last week,
Mhm.
and they gave him some radiotherapy, and they managed to shrink the tumour from about the size of a golf ball down to like a garden pea.
Yep.
Nice.
And
Nice.
when I saw him, he's looking a lot healthier and more
Mhm.
active and stuff. But one downside he got from it, which obviously it's worth it, is he's now anemic.
Yes.
Right. Ouch.
Um,
Yeah.
it's worth the trade, I guess.
Well, he won't be anemic forever. His body will recover from that, all right?
Oh yeah.
And the other thing about cancer is we use the term cancer to talk about it's unregulated growth, but each tissue type,
Mhm.
all right, has its own type of cancer, and
Mhm.
therefore
Yep.
some cancers are more devastating than others because of the tissue type and how whether or not it's treatable, easily treatable or not. For example,
Right.
certain cancers are obviously very devastating. Um, prostate cancer, it's not too devastating, right?
Mhm.
I'm not saying it can't kill you. Do not misunderstand me. I'm not saying
Right. No. No. No.
this
No.
is in comparison to other cancers.
Sure.
Most
Sure. Sure.
most breast cancer is very aggressive, which is why it's so devastating for women.
Right. Mhm.
Yeah. From the
Lung
bits I
cancer.
know of,
Go ahead.
yeah. Yeah, I'm guessing the worst one to deal with would probably brain cancer, just because where it's at and the collateral damage there.
Um, it's okay. The treating treating a brain tumor, if it's just brain a small area within the brain, is actually more treatable than like pancreatic cancer. Um,
Oh,
but
oh, sure.
because of how we have certain, because technology has allowed us to do a lot of things nowadays. Okay, but that's there's a caveat to that in that where is the tumor volume actually
Hmm.
at? There you go. Welcome.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh.
Batman's staying in
Uh,
the stream rather than going to general. I don't know why he wants to go to general.
yeah.
We're here. We're doing the stream here in general.
Yeah. We're doing it here.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was watching my favorite Christmas movie.
Oh, is that what you're doing? What's your
That's right.
favorite Christmas movie? I know I shouldn't ask this, but
Jim Stewart. It's a Wonderful Life.
yeah.
Oh, there you go. Mm-hmm. Yep.
You were expecting something stupid, weren't you?
I was expecting a dad joke. I mean, I'll be honest.
Mhm.
Well, I'd like to say I'm sorry to disappoint, but I'm not. Merry Christmas, Nomad.
Merry Christmas. And how are you doing today?
Merry Christmas. Hold on. Merry Christmas, Yorkie.
Yeah.
thanks for that.
And Merry Christmas, TC.
Merry Christmas, Batman.
I'm still alive.
Very good. That's a
Yeah,
good.
we're
And-
just
and-
saying
and
earlier,
you're
like, we hadn't seen you in a couple of months.
Yeah, I haven't talked to you in a long time. Actually, just talked. I've chatted
Yeah, I
with
know.
you a little bit in the typing in Discord. But
Yep.
so
Well,
how's your
sharing
How's your cat been doing?
My finally got a fucking collar to stop him scratching his neck.
Mm.
So he now looks like a big blue flower. And he was really pissed off with me when I put it on him.
Oh, no.
Well, sometimes sometimes they gotta
Yeah.
you gotta do things to protect
Oh, yeah.
themselves.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah.
Yeah, he seems all right now.
That's
Good.
good.
And
Good.
how's everybody else been doing?
Doing good for the
Pretty
most
good,
part.
thanks. Pretty good.
Another day
Mhm.
above ground.
Yeah,
Indeed.
yeah. Celebrate Christmas while you can.
Indeed. Yeah.
Anyway,
Very
I wonder
much
how
so.
long it'll be before Keir Starmer tries to outlaw holidays in Britain.
Yeah, don't give him ideas.
Oh,
I don't think he's going to last.
by the
No.
way, James, just to let you know, yes, lead is a little bit less dense than tungsten, but it's the glow effect. So just to explain that to you a little different. Anyway, I'm sorry for sidetrack.
No, lead is denser than tungsten, I believe.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
You sure?
tungsten is denser, yeah.
Ah,
In
I
fact,
thought
they
lead.
say on the
I
there's
know
some kind of
tungsten
hardness scale for materials, and tungsten
hardness is the
carbide.
density.
Well, hardness
You
is
know,
not necessarily an aspect. Hardness is not necessarily an aspect of density, but in this
It
case,
isn't.
with tungsten, tungsten is more dense than lead. Tungsten.
oh yeah, but I mean, I was gonna just bring up though, that, like specifically tungsten carbide. The only thing rated higher on that is that MOHS scale or something. The only thing harder than it is diamond. I think the only
Yeah,
metal I can think of that's denser, I think it's osmium or something like that.
uranium.
Uranium is very dense. in
Yeah.
fact, we
Yes,
used to use
it's a
uranium as a shielding material for buildings.
yep. Uranium is so dense that it's actually unstable.
Yes.
Is yeah, yeah. You go past a certain density of material and it becomes unstable. Unless, of course, it's under a terrific gravitational pressure, like you'd find in a collapsed star.
Yeah. Uranium. What we used to use it for, we don't use it so much anymore, but it used to be used for the treatment rooms where you're doing radiation treatments. The walls they would actually put approximately an inch of uranium, which they then encase that in another material because the uranium, of
More
course,
like lead.
is radioactive.
Yep.
No, you don't.
Even
You don't want to. You can use lead, but lead is not the one that they like using the most.
even
For encasing, go ahead.
even depleted uranium is supposed to be quite radioactive.
Well, the word, okay. What is radioactivity? Okay.
Radioactivity is when basically it's putting out radiation. Radiation is subatomic particles flying off. Varying intensities.
Close.
Well, when we're talking about radiation, we're talking about the dangerous stuff.
Well, um, all radiation. What
Like,
radiation is ionization, right? Where
yeah.
you're able to
Do you
kick
realise that living
an
beings?
electron out of the energy shell, causing the electron or causing the molecule to take a negative charge to it. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
Do
Go
you
ahead.
realise that living beings put out radiation as well?
Yeah.
Well,
Heat.
there's
Light.
what they
Oh, no,
call
not light. But
all
heat.
material. All material that we take in. I mean, we have carbon in our bodies. If we have carbon in our bodies, what type of carbon? Everyone's heard of carbon-14, and our bodies doesn't treats carbon-14 the same way it treats carbon-12. All right. So,
Yeah.
do you have radioactivity in your body? You definitely will.
In fact, every substance emits radiation to a varying degree, but apparently living beings also emit light, but in such a but at such a low magnitude that it's not discernible by most beings.
Depends on what you refer to as light.
Photons and shit like that.
Well, okay. light is a very specific photon frequency range.
Yeah.
Okay.
Photons are light. There's no other energy form uses photons.
Well, but that just light is like a very, like I said, a very specific frequency range. But an electromagnetic wave is technically light, regardless of how it's generated. Does that make sense?
So is heat, technically.
Well, heat is generally converted into an electromagnetic wave in the infrared region. That's
I mean, you can convert light into heat and
No.
heat into light.
now energy. Infrared energy does not have enough photon energy to ionize molecules. Supposedly.
Hydra.
Hail Hydra.
The hell was that?
That was six.
No.
Sevener. Getting older, you know.
That's true. That's very true. Very true.
Oh, talking about six, have you seen that animated Star Trek show he's putting out?
I've seen the pieces of it that he's been putting together. Yes. Not
You
too
want
bad.
to watch it? Yeah, the story's good.
Yeah, it's good. That's something I should have had him put in the chat. Is the channel for it so that people can look it up.
Yep. The story actually fits. It's got the right feel for Star Trek.
Are you telling me it's not Discovery?
Discovery is officially canonical now.
Yes, it is. They did now throw it out as canon. That's very true. There's a lot of bitter people.
There's a lot more happy people. No, but that film, It's a Wonderful Life, I think it's one of the best Christmas movies made.
It depends on how you look at it. It depends on how you look at it. It is a great Christmas movie. There's no doubt about it.
It's all upbeat up until, like, I'd say 2/3 of the way in, and all the bad shit is all close to the end. So that when you get the upbeat, yeah, it's really, the upswing is really high. It was very well put together.
Oh, it was definitely done really well. There's no doubt about that.
Back in a minute,
but
lads.
it's kind of interesting
Okay.
because my two favorite Christmas movies, It's a Wonderful Life is one of them. A Christmas Carol,
He's
of
gonna
course,
see
is
Die Hard.
another one. But the
Which
other one
version?
that I love is Miracle on 34th Street, not the new version, the
I could
original
never
version.
get away with that one.
The difference is the Miracle on 34th Street has more of a kid's feel to it. It's more it's more geared toward a younger childlike type of audience. All right.
I think the one I saw was made in either the early 80s or the late 70s, and the little girl in it was a spoiled little brat.
Yeah, you're not
That's why I
wrong.
don't like
You're not wrong. But yeah, unfortunately, guys,
yeah,
it is getting late. We've been going for quite a while, and I do
Okay.
have to get going because it is
yeah,
getting dinner time here.
Yeah, he's got to go around his neighbours, the Hall family. He's taking some boughs of holly. He's taking some boughs of holly with him to deck them. Very
Right.
violent time of year.
but I do appreciate everybody coming out. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, UFB. I'm sorry.
Merry
you joined-
Christmas.
That I
Merry
have to leave
Christmas,
so
Annette.
quickly, but I do have to get going.
I should have caught it earlier.
That's okay.
And to all,
to a good night.
a hopeful new year.
Yes. Thanks for coming out, everyone. Talk to you all later. Bye bye.
Yep. I hope you all have a happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
And I'm not going to be nasty to you for a change.